Hello and welcome to Silverrun Forest. This is episode 10 and we are at the end of July. We've just launched the first boat, and as promised at the end of that episode we are going to finish off planting the new forest. So we're planting approximately we're planting over 300 trees to replace the 170 or so we've taken down, and we'll do that on a little bit on a time lapse and see you once it's done. Right, we're back and we just about planted the first 240 trees, and we're down to the last few saplings that need to be planted, and once that's done we'll pop into the truck and go and pick up another box of saplings and come and load the Volvo planter. I must say now pretty much getting the hang of the Volvo planter. Took me a little while. It was a bit frustrating to get used to it in the first place because it needs to be in contact with the ground, which is obvious I suppose, to be able to plant, which means you need to make sure that it's touching the ground and then lift it and then put it down and touch the ground. However, I have found that if I get it just right, I can hit the plant button and it'll plant, and then move forward and hit the plant button again without having to lift and drop. But you do have to get it just right, and of course any little bump in its path will affect the contact with the ground. But generally speaking, because it's a pretty flat area, I've been able to get going fairly quickly. It is a fairly slow process, but it is the way to plant on Silverrun. Just get into the forklift and go and load up a pallet. So with the truck I have booked for it to go into the paint shop to have a change of paint. Finding this colour just a little bit too dark, seems to lose a bit of the detail, and particularly when we're doing some of the filming, so we'll get that changed. Not sure to what colour yet. Once we get down to the paint shop I'm sure the guys over there will be able to let us know more or less what colour scheme they would like. It's also quite high, so I'm thinking about, for the sort of town areas, maybe having a set of town tyres. Seems a bit of overkill to have these big off-road tyres running around on the tarmac in the flat areas down here. Let's get this loaded up and then we'll get saplings over to the Volvo planter. Excuse me. Bit of a frog in the throat there. Yeah, so you can see how high we're actually having to lift it to get onto the back of the strap. But it is a beauty, especially when it reverses and it has all those light effects. Fantastic, love it, love it. Right, so that's that done. I just get the forklift parked up, get the back closed up, and we'll head off and go and load the planter. This forklift is starting to get old. Of course it is the one that we've been borrowing from the wood store, so I think we'll have to replace it with one of our own pretty soon. I did take it to see if I could have it repaired, but repair shop wouldn't repair it, so I did try and do a reset as well, and it still wouldn't show up as being repairable, so that means we'll have to get another one. I do like this this truck. It really is nice, throaty, and makes a great sound. Will we get underneath here? Doesn't look like it. Doesn't look like it. Right, let's just go and lift that up a little bit, and then we'll drive the truck underneath it. There we go. That should be high enough. Get the truck underneath it, and hopefully I'll be able to show you. It's a little bit early in the morning, so I haven't got good light on the subject at the moment, but I think you will still be able to see how the planter loads. Fantastic bit of animation. Right, that should be fine. We'll have to just jump into the Volvo and just lower it down so that it's close enough to load, and then it loads like you would load a normal pallet. So you hit the L button. There we go. Near the L, and you can see as the saplings load, it rotates around, a bit like the old 6-shooter, except this is a 240 sapling loader. Doesn't take too long to load up either. Yeah, pretty much done. Let's get the truck out of the way and we can continue planting. And we'll just plant the rest of this field, and we'll get back to you once it's done. Right, so that's all planted. Not sure exactly how many were, but it's well over 300. We'll get this back to the store and get it returned. Pop down to the boatyard, and looks like everything is under control there. See the ribs starting to go into the things are going well there. Just pop up to the roller coaster quickly, and yeah, that's going to go into the next stage during the course of the night. So we'll have to check that up in the morning just to make sure that it has got enough of everything. Right, so let's get back to home and start preparing to wind down. First of all, I think what we'll do is we'll check the spinnery, go and load up some. We'll go and put some wool into the spinnery. So I've just cleared this from the bottom sheep pen. Wasn't a full load, but I'll still put it in. 700 odd litres. Make sure that this is working overnight as well now. Whoa! It fell off the back of the van. Didn't hurt myself too badly. Cotton. The sheep's wool went flying. Luckily it's wrapped up pretty solidly, so let's go and have a look at the top sheep pen, see if there's any there. Should be. Yep, there we go, a whole full load. We'll have to think about cutting the grass and getting some more grass baled up as well. We'll have to think about whether we're going to get our own machinery. I think it might be worthwhile getting some very small machinery, because we're going to have to keep feeding this on a fairly regular basis, and now that we've got two, we may have to go and buy another grass field somewhere. We'll see. Well, we're now back into August, and yeah, very glad that we loaded up the spinnery the night before, because we've got a pallet of fabric which we can get into the boatyard, and starting to get, well, each one we put in now before it's required is getting ahead of the game. Hopefully by the time we get to the need for fabric, we've got over 4 pallets here. So that's the first one in. Right, everything looking okay there. Yeah, let's head on up to the roller coaster now and see. I'm pretty sure it would have gone into the next phase, and just make sure that we've got everything covered. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we've still got enough barrels, shingles, tables and chairs in storage. Well, shingles I can see that we do. Tables and chairs are not showing up. Right, we need to cut down some trees for the old sawmill, so we'll get a couple of those cut down. We'll load them up. Still using the old Massey and the strap system to load. I just find it much easier. Might be a little bit slower than putting the whole pile in using the huge Volvo just to collect them up. We might try that at a later stage as well, but right now I don't want to spend that sort of, well, it's not really spending the money, it's just I've got a system that's working, and we need to do this on a routine basis anyway. So we need to cut and get wood into the sawmill at least once a month, if not twice a month. I think once a month will not give us a full 24-hour or full month's production, but it'll give us, as long as we've got sort of upwards of 25,000 litres, we'll get decent production overnight. So at least one load. The aim is to try and get 2 loads in. Most of that will be done off camera though, because you've seen me cut down, load this and dispatch and deliver pretty much every episode since we started. So every now and again I'll do as I've done now and just show you a little snippet of each, just to let you know that it is being done. Right, so we're back at the farm. We want to put in a new shed now for the long trailers. By that I mean the flatbed and the wood trailer. So we need a fairly big shed, but we need to clear all the stumps and shrubbery around here before we actually build the shed. Shouldn't take too long. Well, it does take quite a while, so we'll do it on a jump cut, but we'll just do the first little bit. It only does it at about 6 miles an hour and 2 meter width, so it is a slow process, but once it's done it's worth it. There we go, so that's it all cleared. Now I should be able to put the shed in, put a nice big one in. I do like these wooden sheds, they kind of fit in very nicely with the theme of this map. So the wood for the walls and the basic infrastructure, and then what looks like shingles on the roof. So yeah, looks nice. We'll just paved the area all around there. Right, so we're back up to the old sawmill. We're going to collect those planks now to put into the boatyard. That's the one item that we're short of in the boatyard. So there's quite a few planks here. So these are just the normal size planks. With the long planks and the beams, we have plenty for the next build. And as we get into the last phase, we'll start topping that up again so that it's ready for the the last phase of the boat building, so that's ready for the next build. Just load this one up and then I'll do a jump cut till the end. Yeah, I'm really glad that we invested in the sawmill early, because it's been a very, very good asset. Not only has it allowed us to keep the boatyard and the roller coaster pretty much fully supplied with planks and beams needs and the prefabricated wall needs. It's also, of course, supplied all the production units and generated income from the prefabricated wall panels, which are fairly lucrative. Even on the normal setting, you're getting 10,000 for those. I don't know what they are on the easy and the hard settings, but the normal setting you're getting roughly between 9 and 11,000 pounds for a pallet of prefabricated wall panels. So if you're putting 2 of those in, it's just keeping things turning over. And then of course selling all the excess other productions means that the one thing that we haven't had really is too much of a cash flow problem. We've been able to keep up with that. Of course, it's also helped that when you put supplies into the roller coaster, you do get paid. Right, let's see how much of this it'll take. I'm thinking it'll take quite a bit of this load. I'm not sure if it'll take the full load, because it was 18,000 litres. It's taken that first lot. Yeah, it's taken. It looks like it's going to take that lot. Let's get through to the last batch of 6. That's that full. So we'll just pop up to the market and get those sold. Not going to worry too much about the price at this stage. It'll be fair. It won't be as much as if I put it onto the train, but it would be time consuming to go all the way back up to the train loading yard and offload these onto the. Well, I suppose it could have come up there because I was coming up in any event, and I will be loading a train, but not to worry. Right, so first of all, the long planks I'm going to put onto the flatbed to go and replenish the productions. I think a lot of them are pretty much empty, so we'll give them all a good solid replenishment so that they can get production going. Well, mainly the furniture, not food production, the furniture production and the barrels. They seem to generate fairly good income, and we just need to keep topping up the roller coaster with those. The floor tiles, there's quite a bit in stock there, and I think there's enough enough raw material in stock there as well. There was still wood in the wood turner, so the banisters are still being produced. That's probably going to have to be replenished fairly soon as well. Not sure whether we'll do that with long planks or with more wood. We'll just see how it goes in the next month in September. I think I've got enough there to last until September. Right, I had loaded one load. I just wanted to put this one into camera in case it fell over, because as you can see it's not exactly aligned. I thought they were pretty much aligned when we start, but it was quite a bumpy transition to here. Ah, that's alright, that's that done. Just strap them in case they fell over. Right, so that's the last of the long planks loaded. We'll call up a train and we'll put the long beams and 3 of the 4 prefabricated wall panels onto the train, and we'll get the train off to Elm Creek and sold, and those products sold. So the long pallets, just get the first one on and then we'll jump cut to the end of the load. Yeah, so these forklifts have been brilliant. In my opinion, the best forklifts on Farm Sim at the moment. They're powerful, they're big, they can take a lot of loads. They seem to be fairly easy to handle. Right, so that's the third of the wall panels loaded. Let's get those off and get it secured and get everything strapped up. Oh, I nearly fell over. Let's just push it back, make sure that it doesn't hang over too much, otherwise it'll clip on something and go flying. Just push it in gently. There, that's good. Right, let's get this to Elm Creek. Let's get everything strapped up as well, of course. I think what we'll do is there's a couple of pallets that fell off the train yesterday. We'll just have a quick stop and go and load those up. So we'll just take it slowly out of the station area here. And we'll just stop us. It's between these 2 wood piles. I wonder if they have something to do with the fact that these seem to fly. This is the second time it's happened. We are there. I can see one there. I thought there were 2 that came off. I wonder where the other one is. Well, let's get this one on first, and we can look around for the other one. Pretty sure there were 2 that came off when we made our sales yesterday or last month. Get this orientated right. Fantastic. Drop that off. Well, you see, I don't know. It's quite strange because I don't think I threw that, so I don't know why I should have just slid across the. I don't know. There's something going on in the. It's a bit of a Bermuda. I was going to say Bermuda Triangle, not exactly. The Bermuda Straits between these log piles here. They might be creating a little bit of a. Let's just push it on. See if it moves. Let's drop it off there. No, it dropped straight down that time. So, yeah, I don't know. We'll strap it in any event. Go and look for the other one. Didn't see it on there. Oh, there it is. There. Yeah. I thought it was on the other side. So, I don't know. Don't know how it got there. Mystery. Well, I wonder if it landed on the tracks and was knocked by a train as it came. I don't know. Not going to worry too much about it now. Right, let's get this train into Elm Creek. Get some money. Where's the exciting part is waiting for the train for Auntie to pay up the money. Right, there we go. Hit the A button. Let's see how much we got. Just over 70,000, 72 odd. Not too bad. Not too bad. Right, just put this last wall panel on the low loader, get it strapped up, and then we'll get off into the town and we'll go and offload some of these long pallets at the furniture factory and the barrel factory. I think we'll head off to the furniture factory first. There we are. So just be careful not to drive all the way in. Try and just get the front 6 off here. That seems to be working. Yeah, strap them back up and then we reverse out. And we're down at the barrel factory, and we'll put the rest into the barrel factory. And I'm going to, in addition to the barrels and the buckets, I'm going to get the baths produced as well. See what those look like. And then we're just left with the wall panels. Let's see if they, yeah, so they are required still, so we haven't completely filled it up. So we'll, as I said earlier on, we seem to be covered everything over there. Not too far off the next stage there as well. Right, let's get this parked up into the new shed. So we've got plenty of space for other little things next to these trailers. Park the one on the one side and this one will park on the other side. So when I did the laying of the flagstones, there is a bit of a bank at the back of the as we're looking at the left hand shed. It's not too bad. I'm not going to do much about it. I just smoothed it out a little bit because we'll be reversing in most of the time, so I'm not too worried about that. Right, let's just get another fabric loaded. So that's quite good. So this is the second one that we'll be able to get down. But look at those lights at the back of that truck as you reverse. Fantastic. We'll get that colour changed. Hopefully that will still be as effective then. Yeah, it's just this matte black is just, I mean, I personally like it, but yeah, it's just too dark for filming. It just kind of blends into the shadows and everything, so we'll get that changed. Right, so we're pretty much over halfway now with the fabric for the next boat build. So we'll continue doing fabric and putting all the wool into the fabric until we've got that going and we've got a good stockpile in the boatyard, and then we will purchase the pet accessories factory because that requires wool. That means we can keep producing wool and keep our sheep productive as well. And of course we can sell extra wool should that be necessary. Right, well, I think we're going to pretty much call it a day there. Just have a quick check and see how the boat's going. Yeah, the hull and basic hull is pretty much formed. Yeah, so that's about it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next episode. Cheerio.